Hi, welcome back to Christine's Home Affairs. I've got a new toy. Many of you would know that I already have a heat press. I've got the HTV Ront Auto Heat Press, which I received almost 2 years ago, and I did a product review for that way back then. So I was given the opportunity by LOKLiK to review this one. And of course I've said yes because you guys know how much I love the one that I've already got. So the LOKLiK Heat Press and the HTV Ront Heat Press are sister companies to each other, and you'll actually find both machines on the same website. So this is like an upgraded version of the HTV Ront. It's got more features, and I'm going to go through those with you just as soon as I get this thing unpacked. It weighs a whopping 20 kilos. I have no idea what that is in pounds. Actually, it's probably on the box somewhere, but it is really heavy. So I'm going to get Chris to unpack this for me, set it up next to my HTV Ront, and then we can have a look at both of them. Let's get to it. So you can see both the HTV Ront and the LOKLiK heat presses beside each other, and this one is actually much higher. The first thing you'll notice when you open the drawers out, this one's really dirty because I've stained the mat. But when you pull the drawer out, you've still got a little bit of an overhang underneath here. Now, I've never burnt myself on this, not once in the 2 years that I've been using it. But one thing I have always found is that when I'm trying to get fabric over the entire pressing area, I do have to be careful just here, just to make sure that I don't burn myself. But as I said, I've never done that. This one here extends out a lot further so that when you're covering your fabric, you can actually get your hands a little bit further back and you don't have the risk of burning yourself or accidentally flicking up your fingers like you would maybe here. But look, it's never been an issue for me. But I do love that this is actually coming out a lot further than what the HTV Ront does. The height distance to the underneath of the iron on this one is around about 1 1/8 of an inch or 3 centimetres, whereas this one here has a much bigger clearance of 1.5 inches or about 4 centimetres. So you can actually get much bigger products underneath here. So if you were pressing a chopping board or a cheese board, if you wanted to put a print onto a cheese board, you'd be able to get the thickness of a cheese board under here more easily than you would under the HTV Ront. Let's have a look at the start panel. So this has got a little display screen along here. Press the flashing button. You'll see that this has a red light around there. So that's just indicating that it hasn't heated up to the heat pressure, to the heat setting just yet. Do not touch the heat plate after powering on to prevent burns. And unplug the power cord after use. And read the user manual. Yeah, sure. I've acknowledged that. Do not move or stop the touch screen manually, otherwise the screen may malfunction. So you don't want to be lifting this up or down by yourself. If you want to do that, press the on-off switch. Okay, so now we're in the normal settings here. We can customize this so that you can set this to whatever temperature you might want. 100 degrees, select that one. We might go up to, and this is currently in Celsius, we might go to 100 degrees. We might want to change the time to 30 seconds, and the amount of pressure that the pressing plate puts on the product that you're pressing, or you might be adhering a vinyl or even just ironing some interfacing. You can adjust the pressure here and you can go all the way up to 80 kilos. So the minimum amount of pressure is 20 kilos, the maximum is 80 kilos. And I'll just leave that at 20 and then you can confirm that. You can see at the bottom here on the display screen, it's got 81 degrees. The heat plate is working, do not touch to avoid burns, so it is starting to get warm. And it's telling you what the temperature is at the moment. When you've got something underneath here, when it comes to the temperature that you want, you just press the start button. But if you want to, you can also use the auto function. So by using the auto function, when you put your fabric or whatever it is you're pressing underneath, as soon as you close the drawer, the press will actually come down and automatically start. It'll go for the 30 seconds that you've set it at, and then when it's finished, it'll actually come back up again, and then you can release the drawer or pull the drawer out. If you just use the start button, then you'll push the drawer in, it'll do the 30 seconds, the heat press will come up, and then you'll pull the drawer out. So we can go back to the home screen, go to the system, the screen angle, we can change that if we want to. And the material library, so we can use heat transfer vinyl, which is something that I do if I want to put some vinyl transfers onto some fabric pieces. Sublimation paper, it's not something that I actually do currently. Heat transfer paper, you can do these onto t-shirts, onto placemats, cutting boards, things like that, and your DTF, direct transfer film as well. So if I were using interfacing, I would probably set this up as a heat transfer paper for, doesn't really make much difference, perhaps canvas. I'm going to go and play around with these settings just to see what's the best for the upholstery fabric that I use, but also the interfacings that I use as well, including the parlan that I like to use. You can change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit, and you can also change the pressure from kilos to pounds. If you wanted to work with those measurements, you certainly could do that. But we are Celsius and kilos, so I'll stick with that. And language, well, German. So there's a whole range of languages that you can set this up at as well. We'll stick with English, otherwise I'll get into trouble. When you're finished playing with everything, you just press that button and it will go back to sleep by itself. This has an automatic shut-off feature, so after 15 minutes, if you haven't used it, it'll shut itself off. The HTV Ront has a similar feature as well. Before I show you how to use this for the things that I normally work with, I've got this cheese board, and it's about 3/4 of an inch thick, and I have a piece of heat transfer vinyl here, and it's the glitter type. So I'm going to put that onto the back of my cheese board, and we'll see how that goes. Now, I don't know what setting to use for this. I did go out and Google it, and it suggested using 155 degrees for about 20 to 40 seconds. So I'll use a customize button for this one, and I'll go to custom 2. The temperature setting is already highlighted, and I will increase that to, I think I said 155. The time is 20 seconds. The pressure setting has a range from 20 up to 80 kilos of pressure, but I'll leave it at 20, and then we can confirm that. So now we're just going to wait until the temperature comes up to 155 degrees. When it's ready, this red line will change to a green line. So it'll give me the temperature setting at the bottom there, and we just have to wait. In the meantime, I can set this up. So I'll place my cheese board down onto my pressing mat, and I'll line up my design. I'm actually using the back of this cheese board because I don't have anywhere to use this particular design. It's not one I'm going to stick with, because Nagambi crafted and earth approved using vinyl is a contradiction. This Teflon sheet comes with your LOKLiK when it arrives. You'll find it in the bottom of the box. And we're nearly there. So the green light has come on, it's beeped, it's let me know that everything is right to go. So what I can do now is slide the tray underneath until it locks in place. Make sure you keep your fingers away from the platen here and press start. The heat plate is pressing down, do not touch. And then it will just count down from those 20 seconds. And it just has a reminder here telling you what temperature it is, how long it's pressing and at what amount of pressure. And you can stop this at any time as well. So it will stop, the platen will come up, and then you'll just pull your drawer out. I'll have a quick look and see how that is. And that hasn't pressed all the way, so I think I'm going to need more time or a little bit more pressure. And I might adjust the pressure to 40 kilos and I'll leave it at 20 seconds. And that's ready. And I can stop that early if I want to. And have another look. And this is one that wants to be removed when it's cool, so you want to make sure that the vinyl has cooled down before you actually peel the plastic off. And once that's cool to the touch, I can peel this off gently. And there we have a cute little design on the back of the cheese board. So that turned out pretty well. I did put that through a couple of times because I wasn't quite sure what the pressure was. There isn't a setting for wood on here, but there are settings for other products. But it's easy enough to Google and have a play with it. So that turned out pretty good. One of my favourite things to use the heat press for is removing the backing paper from the back of the sample swatches that I work with. So what I do with that is place the whole piece underneath the heat press. I put the applique sheet or the Teflon sheet directly over the top. I don't have a particular setting that I like to use, but I am going to play around with different pressure settings on this machine and see if I can actually get the paper off a little bit more easily. But what I do is put the fabric underneath, bring the platen down onto the fabric, press it for about 20 seconds or so, and when that comes back up again, I'll peel that layer of cotton fabric that's glued onto the samples. I'll peel that back, put it under the heat again, peel the next layer off, and I'll just take off a few layers at a time. That's how I managed to remove that covering from the back of the samples. It's been the easiest technique for me to use. All right, I'm back again. It's a few days later. I was editing the video and I found out that I had lost a whole heap of audio. So there were lots of little bits that I was planning on showing you with the heat press, but there was no audio at all. So I'm just going to show you what I've done instead. So what I've used is a piece of cotton interlock. This is a stretchy fabric, and I've just put one of the little vinyl transfers on there. So that worked out really well. It's great for obviously doing that onto t-shirts and things. This is 100% quilting cotton. I use this, well, my other heat press normally, I use that all the time for pressing my fabric. It's just so quick and easy. I don't have to put any shoulder work into it with a regular iron, so it's very convenient. Once again, I've just pressed one of those little vinyl pieces onto the fabric. And I've also gone and used Decaville Light. So this is quite a rigid stabilizer. I've used the heat press to fuse that on as well. And then I have another piece of interfacing here. This is a cotton interfacing. Now I've got a massive roll of this at the shop. A lady gave it to me a few years ago, and I've never successfully been able to iron this onto fabric. And since having my other heat press, it's the only way I've actually been able to press that cotton interfacing onto the fabric pieces that I have without it actually coming off again. So for me, the heat press has been absolutely fantastic. So it's bonded that really well. I also, where's that piece of vinyl? So this piece of vinyl, when I received it, it's a long sheet about this long, and it was folded in half on the back of a sample board. And I find that they have this crease in there that you can't get rid of. I have tried removing the creases before with the heat press, but not knowing what settings to use, I found that all that happened was the top layer of vinyl would actually peel off. So I haven't had the confidence to go and try it. But because this one here has those different pressure amounts, I thought I'd give that a go, and it actually worked fairly well. Obviously you can see the staining on there. That's because the vinyl is dirty. I'm going to clean up another section and I'll give it another go, but I've got a really old wrinkly piece of vinyl that I'm going to use in a future project, and I'm really confident that I'm going to be able to get those creases out. So very happy with that, and even being able to transfer vinyl onto vinyl too. I hadn't even considered that. And of course we've got the chopping board with that glitter vinyl on there as well, so that worked out really well. So there we go. That is the LOKLiK heat press. I actually really like this. I'm happy to have both, so I don't have a preference for one over the other. Obviously, the LOKLiK is a lot more expensive than the HTV Ront, but they're both great products. As I said earlier, they're the sister companies to each other. You'll be able to purchase either one and other products on their website, including that LOKLiK iCraft cutting machine that I did a review for a little while back. I really like this. There is going to be a link in the description for, I think they might have a special on for these. So have a look in your country to see what they've got available. I don't know which one I'm going to use here, and one's going to the shop. So I don't need 2 heat presses at home. I have a really good system going. I'll put something underneath the platen, go and do some other work, and then 20 seconds later I'll take my fabric out, put the next piece under, and it's been fantastic for that. So yeah, very happy with this one. Thanks very much LOKLiK for giving me the opportunity to go through and have a play with this one. I would love to have more time to do a lot more with it. But yeah, I'm not sure which one do I need to have at home and which one do I need to have at the shop. I've got to make some space over there. Chris is already complaining because I've taken up too much space. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I shall catch you next time. Bye for now.